David Gilmour is not the kind of musician who needed to scream to be heard. He never chased the spotlight or relied on flashy displays to make an impression. In an era of rock defined by chaos, ego, and bravado, Gilmour chose a quieter path, one defined by subtlety and emotional honesty. His guitar work, precise and haunting, has a way of speaking directly to the listener, capturing feelings words cannot express. The iconic solo in Comfortably Numb is a perfect example. It doesn't overwhelm with speed or technique, yet it resonates with millions because it communicates truth. Gilmour did not seek fame, yet it found him naturally, a testament to the depth of his artistry. This story is not merely a celebration of his accomplishments, but an exploration of how patience, emotional clarity, and sincerity can leave a lasting mark in a world that often prizes spectacle over substance. Early life, a childhood of observation. David Gilmour was born on March 6, 1946, in Cambridge, England, a city known for its intellect and rich history. His father, Dr. Douglas Gilmour, was a zoologist and lecturer, while his mother, Sylvia Wilson, worked as a journalist before teaching film studies. Though his upbringing was comfortable and filled with opportunity, Gilmour often felt quietly invisible in a home more devoted to academic discussion than emotional warmth. Conversations revolved around logic and ideas rather than feelings, leaving him to navigate an inner world largely alone. Yet this environment shaped his capacity for introspection and reflection. The early silence of his household planted seeds for a lifelong sensitivity, one that would later allow him to communicate emotions through music rather than words. The quiet observation of his formative years became the foundation for the deeply expressive and nuanced musician he would become. School years, music as solace. During his school years at Percy School and later at the Cambridge College of Arts and Technology, Gilmour continued to feel like an outsider. He showed little interest in grades or social hierarchies, preferring books, drawing, and music. At age 10, his mother gave him a guitar, opening a door to a world he could shape entirely on his own. Without formal lessons, he taught himself through practice, radio, and instruction books, often spending hours in solitude. Music became both refuge and expression, allowing him to translate feelings he could not articulate in words. From listening to the Everly Brothers, Elvis Presley, American folk, and Chicago blues, he developed a diverse ear, blending influences into a unique sound. These early encounters with music taught him that emotional depth, patience, and discipline could create meaning beyond performance, shaping the artist who would later transform the sound of Pink Floyd. Meeting Syd Barrett, a creative spark, Gilmour's time at art school introduced him to Syd Barrett, a charismatic and imaginative musician who would help define Pink Floyd's early sound. While Barrett was impulsive and unpredictable, Gilmour's calm, deliberate presence complemented him perfectly. Together, they explored jam sessions, improvisations, and discussions about the emotional possibilities of music. Barrett's creative fire and Gilmour's steady guidance created a balance that propelled the band forward, merging spontaneity with subtlety. Though Barrett's tenure in Pink Floyd was short, his influence lingered, and Gilmour inherited not just guitar duties, but the responsibility of sustaining the band's emotional voice. Barrett represented raw brilliance, Gilmour, its reflection. Their partnership showed Gilmour how to communicate deeply through sound, and taught him that music could speak more powerfully than words. These early collaborations planted the roots for the quiet, emotionally resonant style that would define his career. Early career, finding his place. Before becoming central to Pink Floyd, Gilmour navigated a period of uncertainty, performing in small bands and living modestly. Despite limited recognition, his extraordinary talent was evident. Every note had clarity, feeling, and presence. In 1967, as Barrett's mental health declined, Gilmour joined Pink Floyd to fill the gap, initially as a supporting guitarist. When Barrett officially left in 1968, Gilmour stepped into a role that demanded both skill and emotional sensitivity. He did not seize leadership with force. Instead, he led through quiet authority, guiding the band's sound with patience and subtlety. These early experiences demonstrated his understanding that true artistry comes from serving the music and creating depth rather than seeking attention. Through diligence, observation, and empathy, Gilmour began shaping Pink Floyd's identity, proving that one could command influence not through dominance but through presence, care, and integrity. Crafting Pink Floyd's sound. Early albums. Gilmour's contributions became increasingly evident on early Pink Floyd albums such as A Saucerful of Secrets, More, Ummagumma, and Metal. Tracks like Echoes allowed him to explore extended solos, showing that he was more than a replacement guitarist. He was a creative guide capable of shaping the band's sonic direction. Critics initially compared the group to Barrett's era, but Gilmour quietly built his own voice through consistency and musical integrity. Each note carried intention and emotion, adding texture and depth that supported the band's evolving sound. These years exemplified patience and dedication, as Gilmour developed an approach that emphasized nuance over flash. By focusing on listening, feeling, and complimenting others, rather than dominating, he established the foundations of Pink Floyd's timeless style, music that resonates on an emotional level long before it is analyzed technically. Rise to prominence, Dark Side of the Moon. By the release of The Dark Side of the Moon in 1973, Gilmour's guitar had become a defining element of Pink Floyd's identity. He did not write lyrics or shape the concept, but he infused the music with emotional resonance that transformed abstract ideas into experiences listeners could feel. Every melodic bend, echo, and note carried intention, allowing the listener to inhabit a world of feeling. The band's success was not sudden. It grew from years of experimentation, setbacks, and refinement. Gilmour's presence was subtle but pivotal, proving that quiet artistry could guide monumental creative achievements. The album's enduring power demonstrates that technical virtuosity alone does not define impact. Rather, a musician's ability to communicate with honesty, restraint, and empathy creates a lasting connection with audiences. Artistic Peak, Shine on You, Crazy Diamond, and Wish You Were Here. During the mid-1970s, Pink Floyd reached what many considered their artistic peak with albums like Wish You Were Here and Shine on You, Crazy Diamond. Gilmour's solos carried emotion, history, and longing, particularly as reflections on Barrett's absence. The music was less about virtuosity and more about storytelling, conveying grief, nostalgia, and connection. Shine on You, Crazy Diamond exemplifies his ability to turn guitar into an emotional voice, allowing listeners to inhabit landscapes of beauty and loss. In Wish You Were Here, his playing translated subtle human emotions into universal experience. Gilmour had mastered the art of expressing what words cannot, creating a deeply intimate dialogue with listeners. Through these works, he solidified the idea that music's power lies in feeling and sincerity rather than showmanship or self-promotion. Personal life, quiet depth. Gilmour's personal life mirrors his music, private, introspective, and guided by principle. His first marriage provided stability during early Pink Floyd years, and his second, to Polly Samson, became both a personal and creative partnership. Polly's lyrics allowed him to explore intimate themes with subtlety and honesty, adding layers to his solo work. Gilmour's family life remains largely shielded from public scrutiny, a sanctuary that nurtures creativity and emotional well-being. Outside the spotlight, he acts with integrity, whether through philanthropy or personal choices, reflecting the same patience and thoughtfulness present in his music. His life demonstrates that it is possible to balance artistic achievement, personal depth, and ethical conduct, showing that quietness and restraint can be as impactful as fame and spectacle. Legacy and influence. David Gilmour's legacy is defined by emotional resonance, subtlety, and integrity. He reshaped the role of the guitar in rock, emphasizing feeling over technical showmanship. Iconic solos like those in Time, Comfortably Numb, and Shine on You, Crazy Diamond inspired generations of musicians, while his role in shaping Pink Floyd's cinematic soundscapes has left an indelible mark on music history. Beyond technique, his leadership, humility, and ethical consistency set a standard for personal and artistic integrity. His influence extends beyond notes and albums, reminding artists and listeners alike that patience, sincerity, and emotional honesty can create a legacy far more enduring than flash or spectacle. Conclusion: silence that speaks. David Gilmour demonstrates that quiet mastery can resonate louder than the loudest fanfare. In a world where rock often celebrates ego and spectacle, he shows that subtlety, patience, and emotional honesty create lasting impact. Every carefully crafted note communicates what words cannot, inviting reflection, empathy, and connection. His life and music are a testament to integrity, humility, and emotional depth. Through his artistry, He teaches that profound influence comes not from seeking attention, but from sincerity, care, and devotion to craft. Gilmour's legacy is timeless, reminding us that beauty, depth, and human connection often arise from quiet, deliberate gestures that speak volumes.